The pen is mightier than the sword. I believe that. And today, we are going to welcome you guys to our very first episode of Super Sketch and Super Sketchy, actually. And it's going to feature my good friend, collaborator, Vince Sunico. What's up, Vince?
Hey, Carl, how you doing, man?
Where are you dialing in from, man? Why don't you kind of do a quick share of people who aren't familiar with you and your work, and where you're from, etc.
Oh, my full name is Vince Sunico. I am from Canada, Toronto, to be more precise. Uh, I've been working with 24/7 Comics, and I'm working on a project called Heroes Be Damned, which will be coming out pretty soon, which I'm excited about.
Yeah, dude, I'm super excited. So for everyone who are
Yeah.
just checking in now, you're in for it because Vince, I actually discovered through the commission community, and there was a lot of buzz over pandemic about what people were getting from you, and so I reached out and basically said, "Dude, we just gotta work together," and we really got along, shared a vision, and have been working on Heroes Be Damn ever since. It's been a while.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's been a while, but it is awesome that you actually took notice.
Yeah, no,
I
I
mean,
couldn't.
I'm gonna go
I
ahead.
could not know this, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a project I've been working on for a while. It was like seemed like I had to get something out, right? And then just the fact that it's like really coming out, like just a dream come true, you could say.
Yeah, I know it. And the purpose of this show, guys, rather you're tuning in live or watching the replay, it's super sketchy. It's because we want to invite friends of Vince, like the
Yes.
person we're gonna have on today, Joe Seto, to join us and talk about art and maybe show some super sketchies. So, with that said, let's welcome Joe to the show. Hey, Joe.
Hello.
Hey, Joe.
Joe, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from, etc.
Sure. I'm from Vancouver, originally from Toronto. Mm, I guess I sketch as a hobby more so than as a full-time career. I know Vince from back in the day, back in the day, back in the day when I was, I guess, starting off my VFX career, and I met him through my boss at the time, and we were part of a group called Spent Pencils. That's when we got together and sketched. Yeah, and ever since then, the rest was history.
So you're the perfect first guest for us then to have on this super
Yeah.
sketchy show.
Hey.
So honored.
Oh, I'm the one who's honored. I cannot draw nearly as well as Vince, but do a little something.
Hey, as long as you draw, it's all good.
So if you were to describe each other's style, what would that be like? Like if you were to kind of think about, you say you can't draw as well as Vince, but I think Vince thinks you're drawing just fine. And so, how would you describe Vince's style and Vince, how would you describe what Joe does artistically?
Oh, Joe has this kind of like what do you call it? Like very like etchy, scratchy style to it.
Nice.
And it's just when she comes up with some of the stuff, like when she posts the stuff, it's like some like unique look to it, which I like. As long as she's like drawing, it's the cool thing. But when you see, I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Appreciate that. I'd say Vince's has a dark style, which I really like. He draws a lot of sort of dark characters from a lot of shows and games that I personally really like too. And it has that sort of old school style and yet has a sort of clean, crisp touch to it, so to speak. And it's very unique in its way too. And not many people, I think, have that style.
Yeah. That's a great way to describe it. I would even like to say, like, when I saw his style, it really reminded me of kind of like the darker manga that came early on in the 90s, mixed in with a lot of the 90s comic influence that really brought a lot of that kinetic energy to the pages. So that's really why we want to work with Vince and show. Yeah, basically show the world what he's got. Joe, have you seen this yet? As far as like this Heroes Be Damned campaign page?
I haven't.
Okay.
I have not.
So you get a little preview, as
Read it.
everyone else has been. Like we say, is launching very soon. So for you guys who's watching now or even later, the way I kind of wrote this is Heroes Be Damned is where the boys meet Spawn, told with the savage manga energy of Fist of the North Star and Berserk, all delivered with the bone-crushing spectacle of a WWE steel cage match. So that's like my like announcer description. And so far, we barely just we haven't even launched a campaign yet, and we're about 111 followers already. So anyone who's watching right now,
nice.
do us a huge favor and click notify me on launch, and you will be notified on launch.
We'll be damned.
Very nice.
All right. So with that said, I mean, what the audience usually is waiting for is to see what you guys can do. So I think Vince and Joe, we talked a little about what you guys will be doing today. I think Joe, you want to start something new, right? So you have any idea what you want to sketch today?
I was thinking of something from Dark Souls 3, which is a game I really like. Dark Souls 3, which also has a really strong influence of Berserk. So it's just a character from a monster.
Hi, Relas. And Relas, as you're watching, feel free to tune in and ask Vince and Joe any questions while we have them. So thanks for watching. And Vince, how about yourself? Are you have you decided you're gonna go finish that commission, or are you gonna start something new as well?
You know what? Now I'll probably do something new because what the commission I'm working on, all I'm doing is just hatching.
That could be fun.
A lot of hatching.
Yeah.
Very therapeutic.
You know, like, I didn't expect it to be that much detail, to tell you the truth. If you remember how it looked, right? You see the pillars and all that stuff. I'm gonna hatch the whole thing.
Oh my
because
god!
The characters in the middle are black, and I was picturing shadows and everything else. But I realized if I blacken the whole thing, it's gonna get all lost. So you have to create that hatching to give more depth. But I have to hatch the whole thing.
All right, Vince. In fact, why don't you show the audience what it is, so they could. Like, I don't know how there could be any more hatching, but sure.
Yeah, you see the little things like that.
Oh
so
my god!
Kind of picture the whole thing around it. I mean, I'll get to it. I'll finish it for sure. But
so nice.
You see it all?
Wow. So, for those of you guys who hasn't seen Vince's art, here's another first take of the kind of commissions that he does. He leaves no white space unturned.
I do get carried away with my details. Something I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to draw just lines. I have to really punch in more details. It's different. That's why I like with Berserk stuff. When you look at the artwork, it's like the detail. It's crazy.
Yeah, I love it. So with that said, why don't you guys turn your cameras to your sketchbooks or your pads, and then we'll continue the interview and have a really fun conversation.
Sure.
Vince, is there a way to turn your camera sideways?
Or yeah, I should be able to. Hold on. How's that look? Wait.
It's still vertical, so maybe keep it the same. Just do it the way you had it. I think it's fine. Actually, yeah, do it the way you had it. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I don't have like a real good setup for this thing, but it should be fine.
All good. Audience, we are totally experimenting. Joe has been such a good sport to join us as we play around with this, how this super sketchy show will work. So give us feedback, give us questions and thoughts, and we'll listen and we'll evolve the show as it comes. So give it. Oh, there we go. We can see your hands.
It's quite bright.
There you go.
I think that works.
Yeah, it works. It's great.
Nice. Trying to figure out what character.
Looks like, is this mirrored? It must be.
Yeah, maybe. Any audience, you want to vote for a character since Vince is opening up the opportunity?
Oh yeah, give me something.
Let's see.
Then I'd be lame.
Actually, super. Do you want how about Joe? Any ideas from you since you're very appreciative of Vince's style. Any ideas of what you want to see him sketch?
I would love to see some Dark Souls characters, or perhaps
Give me something.
Berserk.
Oh. Umbrella has actually said Omega Red.
Omega. Joe, you know Omega Red?
Up to you, Omega Red or Berserk. I think.
No, Joe. Whatever you want, games, whatever, or manga stuff, Sailor Moon.
I want to see Guts and Casca happily together.
Oh, that's different.
Okay,
Guts and Casca together happily. I can do that.
Oh, really?
Go for it. Sorry, we'll save Omega Red for the next one. So that's the next sketch, Vince, for Super Sketchy next week. All right, so
there'll be a bunch.
Yeah, we have a bunch of this coming. So, okay, so I am going to ask you guys a series of questions. So as you guys are sketching, feel free to just chime in and share your thoughts and any memories you may have. So I think a really good question to start was, how old were you when you started your artistic career or as an artist? Joe, ladies first.
Oh, thank you so much. I think I was quite young, maybe in my early youth, just sketching on a piece of napkin to keep me occupied, in these family dinners. I guess formally, it wasn't until high school, like the end of high school, that I started to actually be more taken seriously or kind of interested and actually figure out proportions and like, oh, this goes there, that goes here. There's technique to it, and yeah, I guess so to speak, probably end of high school.
Okay. I mean, so you say officially in high school, do you remember the very first piece that you drew where you picked up and you looked at it and you were like, hey, I'm an artist. Like, what was that character? What was that?
That's a great question.
Do you remember?
I remember it so well. It was Sora from Kingdom Hearts 1.
Sora.
I was just obsessed with this game. I still am. And I thought, oh, I want to draw him. And then I did it, but with thought, I guess, into it. And I was happy with the outcome. I was like, oh, wow, I think I could do this. I think I could do more of this.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I'm curious about Vince's answers.
All right, Vince. We got the same questions for you. How old were you when you first started as an artist? And then what was that first piece where you picked it up, you looked at it, you're like, this is it. I'm an artist.
Well, I think when I was very young, I would say like maybe like 5, when I was like really drawing, really into it. And I was a big fan of I was a big fan of Spider-Man. And I remember drawing him as a kid, like, oh, and then that's how I kind of really got into the superhero stuff. Of course, like it's on TV, you're watching as a kid, right? And that's what really got me hooked. Like, was something about Spider-Man I just loved as a kid. I had the toy figure, the Mego. Do you know that, Carl? Is it Mego?
Mego?
What's it called? It's like a doll size of Spider-Man, but it was wearing the clothing. I forget what it's called. The brand.
Oh, it's called, it is Mego. Mego. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, I had that as a kid.
In fact,
where you can actually take off his suit. I don't know, like why you'd make him naked, but
it's a Mego. There's a megomuseum.com. And is this it right here?
Oh, let's see. Yeah, I think that's the one.
1978. Oh my gosh, look at this thing. That is hilarious.
But you see how like the clothing, right? Like it comes off, but his head is like plastic.
Oh yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Loved it as a
Like,
kid. It was funny. I was at a convention not too long ago, and I remember I saw the figure, and I asked the guy like how much, and I think it was like a few $100.
these can't be cheap anymore. These are like hardcore
Oh
collect.
no!
1975, 1978. Yeah, these are like
Yeah,
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 ancient.
vintage. The ancients.
yeah.
Like me, I was born in 78.
Yeah, because they
Don't look
never
like
had
it.
a lot of
No
figures
way.
like that.
Oh, actually, we got some questions from our audience, guys.
sweet.
So,
Mm.
if you guys are ready, we could bounce to that as well. I think Vince did answer the question. Spider-Man. I do wonder how many people actually had Spider-Man also as their first sketch, because Spider-Man is such a popular character.
Oh,
Yeah.
Iconic. I mean, he's not saying my favorite now, but as a kid, man, wow! Like my nephew, who he was 5 at the time, he loved Spider-Man. I was like, man, and it's not too long ago. He's a
Yeah.
popular character.
Makes me think if a lot of the kind of gaming characters that it seems like Joe is kind of into will also kind of evolve over time, being some of the more iconic characters that people draw. So I'm gonna jump to Mishy's question, and Mishy's question is, what is your preferred tool of choice? Nib, micron, brush pen? Joe?
Great question, maybe. Mishi. I prefer pen. Actually, just a ballpoint pen. Keep it
I like
simple.
that.
Oh wow, just a regular ballpoint pen.
Just a regular old big
Yeah.
soft feel medium. I think this is just the one I found.
Yeah, I
has
like
that
that
always
too.
been your weapon of choice?
Sorry, what was
Has that always been your weapon of choice, Joe?
Since I started sketching more, yeah, because there's something really nice about not painting, drawing with pen, which is that you can make mistakes, but you have to be more committed, I guess, to what you put on the paper, and I think that helps with my flow of not being stuck and erasing, and I think on a serious drawing, sure, pencil's great, but like just having fun, pen is my favorite.
Yeah, that's what I see in her style. Yeah, it's the ballpoint she was using. Yeah, I like using the ballpoint.
All right. Well, same question for you, Vince.
Oh,
Oh,
let me see. You know what? Like the pencil, can't go wrong with the pencil, but there was those moments where like it depends how you feel too, right? Like, like there are moments I like using the ballpoint, or sometimes I felt like doing watercolor, or even like going digital too. But if I had to pick, probably pencil.
Nice. Yeah, I noticed that. Even a lot of your commissions, I remember, were heavily pencil based, right?
Yeah,
At least during the pandemic. And then you start inking more, right, over time?
yeah. I mean, I always inked on the side type thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just that sketching was just a lot more faster, and if you're gonna post every week, it's just faster to get more pencils out. But then it all depends. There are moments I just don't even want to grab a pencil. Like again with Joe, the ballpoint just has a different feel to it, right? You can do like good gradients, or you can just scribble like crazy, and you can definitely get like different feel to it with a ballpoint. Say with the pencil and ink, it depends if you press really hard, or even with a marker pen, it just stays black all the way through. Depends.
Yeah, I felt like you've kind of also moved into Mishy's next question, which is part 2. Do you ever have to use a certain tool for certain illustrations? And she kind of put half in like quotations.
Oh, yeah, it depends. Like, I guess like on let's say like a commission, right? And I always ask somebody like, what do they want? And then it always comes down to like, do you want like penciled or ink or colored? And then every time I approach whatever medium, I have to approach it differently. Like, for instance, let's say let's see that drawing you see with the inking and all that stuff. And then let's say the guy suddenly says like, "Oh, I want it colored." And you're like, "What?" If I were to color it, I would ink less or lesser details and let the
Mm.
color stand out. So that it's always important for me to like be precise in what the customer wants or who wants that commission. Or like let's say they wanted I pencil it, I'll put a lot of detail into it, make it sharp and clean, and then they'll say like, oh, I want an ink. I'm like, oh, I could have done that when I'm inking and just loosen on the pencils. So I do approach it, yeah, depending.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, Joe. Same follow-up question for you.
I think it really depends what I'm trying to draw or what I'm trying to do, and the style and the feeling of the day of, I guess. Sorry, what's the question?
So the follow-up
Having to
question
use a
is,
certain tool?
yeah, do you ever have to use a certain tool for certain illustrations?
I guess yes, in some ways, because you do have a certain, if you want to go for a certain style, like for example, you want to go for a digital medium, then you have to use the Wacom tablet or so and so. If you want a certain style with the ink, then ink, pen. And what I really like what Vince does is that he mixes it. You know, he does a lot of illustrations with sort of like markers and also ink, and with a mix of pen and pencil, and it's like this beautiful harmony.
Nice.
Nice.
I like that.
I like that. That's a really good way to describe it. The beautiful harmony.
Beautiful harmony. Yeah, I think in many ways, like I'd say it really depends on what you want to have the feel for your end piece. You know, sometimes I'll play around and sort of try to use a bit of watercolor with some of this pen drawings, and sometimes it turns out okay, sometimes it doesn't. But I can't do the watercolor unless I, have the tool.
Nice. Mishi, hope that both your questions are answered. And audience, we are here at Super Sketchy Part 1 with Joe Seto and Mr. Vince Sunico himself. So feel free to post any questions or thoughts or comment, and we will relay that to our amazing artist today. I will continue with the Q&A. I have some, often, we, all of us, right, working in the creative industries is so important to be inspired. And there are times, I mean, the well runs dry. So what are some things you guys do or some places you go seek inspiration to get yourself excited again? Vince, why don't you go first on this time?
Like I could definitely see that like when I'm younger, you need that kind of push, I guess. I'm trying to think more, but like for me nowadays, like I just draw. Like there's like I don't need anything to inspire me. I just do it. But when I was like younger, you just needed something like going outside, maybe like hanging out with friends or family, just to get more batteries being recharged type thing. But for me, I think as time goes by, you just gotta like just do it, just draw every day, no questions asked. Does that make sense?
Oh, love that.
Yeah, Vince, you're pretty hardcore. You like, I feel like ever since I met you like 5 years ago, you never stopped drawing every day. So it's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
And it really shows in his art.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, like, people like, oh, I don't feel like drawing. I need to be motivated. Like, I get it. Like, I do. But when you really think about it, you got to work on that skill. And in order to do that, you just got to keep at it. And just no questions asked. And then what I always do is like, you don't have to draw the same thing. Just draw, like, when I do like any kind of drawing, I'm mostly drawing 2 things at a time, or maybe 3. So I'm not doing the same thing for a long period of time. So like my brain is more like refreshed every time. So let's say I'm working on an ink piece, cool. Then I'll jump to a ballpoint. And I'll go back to the ink piece again, and I'll do another project with just say pencils, or I'll do something else, but changing it up every so often, or like working on something at the same time twice. It's awesome. Yeah.
In fact, We got our friend Omar Mir here, who said, "Hey everyone, Vince is one of my favorite artists. He captured
Omar. I know the guy.
action so well." Thanks, Omar. Thanks for the kind note. So I'm gonna jump to Joe. Same question for you. How do you stay inspired? Like, how do you stay motivated?
It's a really good question. And I think I'll go on a bit of a tangent because I'm at that stage where I find that it's hard to get motivated for drawing and keeping up with learning new things. So for me, I've been recently trying to, I guess, watch some videos online to feel a bit inspired and go for walks and really take a look at the world around me. And, like what Vince was saying too, like hanging out with friends and sort of surrounding myself with like-minded people, like like-minded artists. And something I found more recently, which was helpful, is actually trying to gather people together to do art together. And they don't have to necessarily be great artists, but people that at least feel a bit enthusiastic about just learning and being okay to make mistakes. And kind of what draws me away from, I think, or what drew me away from art was maybe like being too hard on myself, thinking it has to be perfect, there has to be a certain way, when that's not really reality.
Yeah, that's a lot of artists. I was there too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like remember like in the old days of the experiment, remember how it's like a whole bunch of us were always together and just drawing together and just feeding off. Like those are, for me personally, it was like fun times. I get it now. It's like
great times.
Everyone's doing their own thing now. We're all getting old. But that's a good advice when you think about it. Like just finding other artists and just kind of create like a clique of some sort. Because that's a great way of actually motivating. Is like with other artists.
Can't agree more. I feel like great ideas happen in great company, right? So with great company, always can't go wrong. Angels of the Renaissance. He or she was asking, "What are you working on now?" And Mishi did answer and say, "I think they are drawing Guts and Casca." Then Angel of the Renaissance also agree with Joe that long walks and solitude helps me with my art.
Nice.
Alrighty. So back to questions. Mishi, thanks for all the questions you're throwing in today. Everyone else on the stream is also welcome to chime in. Feel free to give us questions. This is the Super Sketchy Show where Mr. Vince Sunico invite his friends on here and they sketch and we chat. Mishi, so how important it is to have knowledge of existing comic history if you want to join the industry today?
Oh, what was that again?
Joe, you're up first. How important it is?
It's a hardcore question.
Yeah, how important it is to have knowledge of existing comic history if you want to join the industry today?
I think that's a hard question for me to answer because I'm not so. I guess in some ways I'm not as knowledgeable with all the comics, so I would think that. How do I explain this? I would think that like it doesn't matter so much maybe about what your knowledge is of the comic, but rather of the art itself and the using, drawing whatever it is or however you might express it. Because at the end of the day, you can kind of be drawing anything. You don't have to necessarily know it, but rather it could be motivating to help you be inspired and be, oh, I know this character well. I know the way that they feel, and it could go into the pages, right? But as far as like the knowledge, like knowing what happens in book 3, chapter 2, like I don't think you really need to know that.
Yeah, that's hardcore.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good answer. I do feel like a lot of times, and it's almost like a mesh of your last answer in this one, where I feel like it is what you extract from within, and if you deliver something that's meaningful to you, it doesn't need to be perfect, and as long as it feels authentic to you, I think the comic industry will gravitate to you. any
Yeah.
industry will gravitate to you. So I know you mentioned, Joe, you work in VFX. Is that kind of like what you do career wise?
Yep, that's what I do career wise.
Cool.
Neat.
Excellent.
So for those in the chat and stream who's watching, would you mind explaining what VFX and a VFX artist like yourself do?
In my VFX career, I work with the 3D medium. So I do mostly my work on the computer, and I'd say, how to describe this? I'd say like if someone gives me a model, a 3D model, I bring it and mix it into the scene by adding the lights. So I'm a lighting artist by profession, and it's just something I absolutely love doing because lighting makes a huge difference, right? And yeah, that's what I do. But I mean, I'm not sure how many of you know about the industry, how it's moving right now. It's kind of struggling.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that I'm working on, trying to figure out if this is something I want to stay in or I can stay in even.
Yeah, the AI has heavily impacted
Oh yeah.
your role and many others in the
So many.
animated side of things. So it's pretty.
What's nice though is that AI can't really replace, like paper and pen yet.
True.
Just yet.
Yeah, and they won't, because look at, you guys are holding these physical things, right? And there's also a reason why physical media is actually on the rise. I mean, Barnes and Noble is opening 60 new stores this year in America.
Oh wow.
So it says a lot about kind of the direction of where the physical medium is going. So yeah, so Vince, same question for you. How important is it to have knowledge of existing comic history if you want to join the industry today?
I mean, it's an option, of course, right? Like you can, like for me, like I know I'm into comic books, but I don't say I know the whole history. I don't think you have to know everything, I guess, but it doesn't hurt to learn it because it's very interesting when you kind of learn more about like where it all comes from, right? Like I remember some guy messaged me or something, not messaged me, but I remember I drew Captain Marvel, Shazam, but I put down Captain Marvel. And I think somebody said like, "Hey, Captain Marvel's not a guy." I'm like, "No, it's not that cat. This is the real Captain Marvel, the original one."
Yes,
but he thought it was like the Marvels, Brie Larson or Carol Danvers. Yeah. So he thought it was that version. He didn't realize Shazam was actually Captain Marvel, right? So, I mean, like again, didn't have to know that, but at the same time, it's like, well. Gotta know where it came from. Even that history too with Captain Marvel was like, that's also like an interesting history with that battle between Captain Marvel and Superman, like more towards like the legal stuff. It's like, wow. But do you need to know it? I mean, if you're hard at doing the comic book stuff, like again, it's the skills and just be respectful, right? Just be a good person. And you'll get a good job. That's one way of looking at it.
That's a really good way to put it. I mean, as a publisher, I'll answer this. I feel like when I work with creators, there's a few type of creators. I think there are folks who really brings their style, their heart, and their work to the table, and that's where their focus is. I think I could, I don't know Joe. I just married today, but I could safely say that Vince is that. He just brings his energy to the page, and that's his focus. Other artists, the way you describe Mishi is, I've met artists that are very well researched, and they are really good at giving people what they want. So they kind of, and it's not a negative thing. It's just part of their artistry is also chasing the trends that's out there. And I feel like you're very palatable as a artist. Sure, that's a realm as well.
Yeah.
And then there's the service artists, where they basically are mercenaries, and basically does basically whatever they're paid to do, which is great too. And then I think there's that, and that's generalization ish, but I would say within the comic book world, you definitely see a lot of folks who are out there today really just trying to make a living, to be honest,
Yeah.
because
Mm.
it's so hard to even like be part of a comic industry in that way. So hopefully that answered your question from like a comic book publisher perspective.
Yeah.
Um,
Good
cool.
question though.
Good question. Great question.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, let me scroll down, see if there's any more questions. Hello, okay, we got that. Angel of the Renaissance, thank you for all the thoughts. Doodle a little bit on my manga today. Would love to see your manga, Angels of the Renaissance. That's pretty awesome. I love working traditional with a G pen. I don't know what a G pen is.
G pen. I don't know that.
Well, he said, he or she said, I'd love to draw with you guys sometimes in the future as well.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. So, all right. So, welcome again, folks who are just tuning in now. We have got a handful of new eyeballs. Welcome to Super Sketchy. This is the show where Mr. Vince Sunico invite his artist friends to come on and get super sketchy.
Yeah.
And you have to plug really quickly since we're kind of halfway through the show. Heroes Be Damned campaign launching very soon. We're about I think a little under a month away from launching, and we have 111 followers. We would love to get to 500. So if you can, please do jump into this link I'm about to post in the chat. All you gotta do is click notify me on launch. You do need to sign up for a Kickstarter. You don't even need to back it. Just help us with this algorithm by clicking notify me on launch. And that we will be forever thankful for sure. So please do click this notify me on launch, and it would be super helpful to our cause. All right, so I got a hard question for you guys. So
Go for it.
Uh-oh.
Vince, I'm gonna give you this one first.
Joe, go ahead.
No, after you, please.
What is the one hardest thing about being a comic artist in 2025, or even just being an artist in general in 2025?
Great question.
The hardest thing? Like,
Yeah, the hardest thing. What's the one hardest thing about being an artist in 2025?
oh,
Vince is like, it's not hard.
Maybe it's not hard. Maybe you guys just love your job. That's good. That's a good thing too. Maybe that one's very easy.
it's a question. Definitely, I'm really thinking about it. Like, I don't know. Like, so I think something more like an artist in general. I guess like, yeah. I mean, there's always like new artists, especially like young artists coming out. I just I'll be watching stuff on like YouTube, whatever. And one thing I'm noticing right now is like for like a lot of young ones coming out, like they're like fighting harder. You know what I mean? Like say for myself, okay, yeah, but I've been around for a bit, and then I just build the reputation, and I'm more into like traditional stuff, and there are people who are liking my stuff. But imagine like if you're just starting out, and then you got AI and all that stuff, and you got a lot of them just being discouraged. Like when you should be really like, no, like AI has its thing, but you can still draw. But I keep seeing people like, why bother? I'm like, oh, and I get it. It's tougher, but I don't know. It's like you just have to do it. But I think that's what's hard for a lot of artists nowadays. If you look at it that way.
That's really good. And it's funny. Like both of you guys kind of paused a bit. I almost feel like it was too much of an easy question. So,
oh no,
Joe, I'm gonna evolve it. I'm gonna evolve it for you, so that it's a little bit harder and something you have to think about. So, okay, have you ever created something and drawn something that helped you process something personal, like a loss, a broken heart, a major change in your life?
Ooh, that's deep.
that is deep.
That's real deep. Just go on in.
That's what we're here to do.
Joe.
Super sketchy.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry, what was the question again? Have we drawn something that help
Yeah,
us
have you
process.
ever drawn or created something that helped you process something
Mm,
very personal, like a loss, a broken heart, maybe some sort of major change in your
mm,
life, a chapter?
mm. I don't have the sketchbook with me here, but I would love to show it. It's something I drew in high school. Oh, sorry, no, in college. And I was going through a really dark time. And
Mm.
so a lot of my pages after like in this particular sketchbook were kind of just dark themes of head being ripped open or like I know, okay.
I love
Or
those.
like
Those are the best, though.
the
I don't know why.
face
I
sort
love those.
of the
I gotta
face
see
sort of,
these.
opening up. I'll
Oh,
send them
that's
sometime.
great.
And I don't think I can. I don't know. I think about these drawings sometimes, and I think, can I still draw that way? Can I have that creativity again? And I think it's because I was in such a sort of like dark world that once I put it on paper, it felt like, oh, this is so silly, but I kind of love it.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's great.
Yeah, no, I actually personally,
Mm.
as an art fan, I love that dark stuff. I don't know why.
Mm.
And as you're talking, it kind of brought me back to a gallery I went to for now a friend, James Jean. He was going through a very hard time in life, and I remember it was his last show before he moved to Asia for temporarily. And I walked in the gallery and I was like, "Whoa! Like this is very
Mm.
dark, you know. It's very like a period of his life." And then over the years, known for over a decade now, and then like watching his art, he got married, had a kid, and like you just
Mm.
watch his world brighten up, and his art has brightened up over the years,
Oh.
and it's pretty cool just to watch that transformation and that journey, and
Mm.
I love it. Yeah, and
Damn.
it's one of the most kind of pronounced journey I've ever personally witnessed in my life because he's also so productive. That guy just nonstop pumps out work like a maniac, so
Mm.
and so you definitely see like his fingerprints just evolve over time, and yeah, there was like a season of just darkness, exactly how you described, where
Mm.
like, when you put your finger motion together, how like things are ripping apart and the head's
Mm.
opening up and come on, that kind of stuff. I totally remember.
There's
All
something
right.
so nice about dark art.
Yeah, no, there is. There's something about that. Like, have you guys seen Wayshak's work?
Oh,
Mm.
Jonathan
yeah, I think so
Wayshak?
stuff. Yeah, yeah. Very
Yeah,
like
Wayshak.
very energetic, very like loose line, tight lines at the same time.
Yeah, this is Wayshak. He just announced a new book today called Cultizak.
Zach.
Of course.
Amazing work. Look at this. He has like he just has really
Oh, that's dark.
dark stuff, you know. But I can say he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met. And
Oh, nice.
is this what you're talking about, Joe? Like this kind of world?
100%. Maybe a bit darker, more, more of this motion. Yeah. Oh yeah, like that.
More of the hand thing.
Oh, that eyeball. Oh yes.
Oh yeah, look at
Get
this.
that
Oh,
eyeball.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wayshak.
Jonathan's great. We should ask him to come on. Actually, that'd be a fun super sketch episode with Wayshak.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna answer a question. Mishi, thanks for participating. You're like an unofficial co-host today.
That's awesome.
Question for Carl: as a publisher, how do you
Oh.
determine what comics to take on? Do you go to the artist or do you receive pitches from artists? Let me think real quick because I want to answer authentically. So the thesis is to take pitches and you review a bunch of pitches. I have my feet on my desk, smoking a cigar. Like that's the thesis, but it never happens that way. Like I actually am a lot more productive when I go like discover talent. Like Vince, I found him on a comic art collecting group where someone was like, "Hey, dude, check out this Wolverine." I think maybe even Omega Red. One of the I think it was a Wolverine figure that you did a commission. It was
Yeah.
during pandemic, and then I went on your Instagram and I was like, "Whoa, this is dope!" And you were really productive at that time, right? You were like pumping out like daily sketches, or whatever, and it was nuts. And so then I just reached out and we got on the Zoom and we chatted up, and I was curious about actually loaf because you had done loaf bread, and I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
curious about what that was all about. And then I still remember I took the art back and showed the team, and everyone was like, "Dude, we gotta do something with him." And so pitched you guys on it, and we did a 6-issue deal, and rest is history.
Yeah, that was awesome. But it was funny when you first messaged. I was just like, "Oh, who's this guy? What's he trying to scam now?"
Another bozo with his feet on the table, smoking a cigar, looking at pictures.
Yeah, I get like a bunch of messages, and sometimes like, "Oh, what now?" It's like, "Oh." But then when we first met, and I was like, "Okay, I'll take it as is." But once you mentioned loaf, I was like, "What? Because sometimes I get people messaging and they want to do their own project, but it just goes nowhere, or it just be like some sort of like whatever." But then when you made the move and did the Zoom thing in the meeting, I was like, "Holy shit!" And you asked about loaf. That's why I was like, "Whoa, oh." That was like the first time anyone asked about loaf. It's like,
Oh.
yeah, I was like, "Oh, how come he likes loaf?"
I'm also unconventional because typically, obviously, if it's like the big two, like Marvel, DC, they want you to draw their characters, right? And then if it's a lot of indie companies as well, they kind of have their own IP that they want you to draw. I'm a big fan of artists written, created, drawn stuff. So our whole thing is partnership publishing, and you are my partner, creative partner, and I'm here to support and bring your works to the world, and that's why we really make sure you take your time and incubate and surround you with the best people possible. And which was great, Mishi. We actually I ran to Terry Kavanaugh last year, and he was the editor for Marvel Comics Presents, so he oversaw when Weapon X was created by Barry Windsor Smith. He put Jay Lee on Namor. He put Stephen Platt on Moon Knight. He put Alan Davis on Excalibur. I mean, he worked with like legends, right? So he's a legend himself. And when I showed him Love and kind of what we're thinking about, you and him really clicked and kicked it off, and that sense kind of evolved this title to what it is today, which is Heroes Be Damned. And so, it was a great collaboration. And it's moments like that and seeing those kind of sparks of collaboration that makes me love being a publisher, because that's really what I'm here to do. So, Mishi, hope question. All right, Angels of the Renaissance. Yo, check it out. Life helped me shape my work. Life the movie, life, or just life.
The movie
needs help with his life.
Yeah. So Stan says this is neat, an open conversation while sharing artwork. And then Angels of the Renaissance, I find art and working on it is like mental therapy. Yeah, I agree. Watching you guys work is like therapy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you get like a real zone. There are moments where I'll be like drawing nonstop and then realize like, oh my God, it's already morning.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's probably because you're so focused on something else, and it's just so nice,
Yeah, I mean the world could be falling apart, but you're like, I gotta finish this drawing.
Yeah.
All right, so Stan, Carl, when's your next Comic-Con appearance? Who gives a crap about my appearance? When you guys' next appearance?
No, we'll see you. When's your next appearance?
Hey, Carl.
I'm actually going this week. I'm actually heading to the Calgary Expo.
Awesome.
Yeah, this actually I'm leaving tomorrow morning.
Oh, dude, so it's you're going. How far is Calgary from where you're at?
Flight is probably like 3-4 hours. Yeah, I'm going there with Kevin.
With who?
Kevin Briones.
Kevin, Kevin. Yeah. Dude, It's
Yeah,
far. I thought Calgary is much closer. I guess
Oh,
it's like
it's
a.
far.
Oh, Canada's so big.
It's
True.
big.
That's true. Yeah, you guys are really far apart.
Yeah. Like
Um,
Joe is on the other side, man. She's like
Oh,
way
yeah.
off.
I
But
love
Calgary's like
Vancouver.
in the middle.
Okay, Calgary's in the middle. Toronto's all the way on the east coast. I love Vancouver though. Vancouver is like my happy place.
Mm-mm. Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no, I
You
used to
come
go up
here
there.
during the. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I used to go once a year, just for the winter, get some snow,
Mm,
visit my cousin, see some friends. I mean, it was a regular thing for many years.
that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah,
Where are you located, Carl?
I'm Los Angeles.
Oh, lovely. Okay, so it's like close by, I guess.
Not far, yeah. It's a quick flight up. I mean, there's a lot of Hollywood is pretty much in Vancouver now, right? It's like Vancouver
Yeah,
and Toronto.
they
It's
call it like
everything's up
North
there.
Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah, that's
my
right.
first job was at Lionsgate, and so
Oh,
it's funny because they were a Vancouver company that came to Hollywood, and
Mm.
then now Hollywood moved up to Vancouver.
your currency is just too strong.
How about you, Joe? Are you appearing at any conventions anytime soon?
No, I don't really do conventions, so to speak. I've only done it once. And that was like back when I was with Spent Pencils,
Back in the day.
back in the day.
Would you do it again?
I think so. I think I would actually have to do more of my own stuff so that I
Mm.
have actually a medium to sell. Because otherwise, I'm just gonna be there with my sketchbook because I don't really have sort of pieces. Because in VFX, especially, you can't really claim it as your own, and it's someone else's work. You can't really, you know what I mean? Mm.
I get it. That'd be cool if you did the cons.
Yeah.
But it's like
Just-
it's a lot of work.
yeah, I can imagine.
Man, I still got a pack too. I'm like, oh my god. I gotta
That's
wake
the
up
work
early.
part.
Yeah, that's the part I don't like. I'd rather just show up and have my stuff just show up. That'd be great.
Mm.
Have a robot do it.
Oof.
Pack my stuff.
What? One day.
One day.
All right. So Mish says, thank you for answering all my questions. I'm currently working on my MFA in sequential art at SCAD. So I am
Nice.
eager to hear from professionals. Well, speaking of SCAD, any formal education from either of you guys artistically?
Nothing. No.
Oh, really, Vince?
No, I studied for schooling wise animation at Sheridan College.
Oh, you're a Sheridan. Dude, my niece is
neat.
going to Sheridan.
Oh, but I didn't finish it.
Dropout.
I left.
Okay.
I left in the
Don't
second
tell your
year.
niece
I'm like, as the second year, I just like, I got what I needed.
that.
So is it really hard? Like, was it like really challenging?
You know what? Like, it's definitely different when I went there. So you gotta remember, it's like a different process now. Like, Joe, you remember Jen?
Yep.
She
Yep.
took. She went to Sheridan, and I remember going with her, right? And just seeing how everything was done. Oh, you were there too, right?
I think I might have been there. I don't know. It feels like
but it's different. I remember going there and like, oh my god! And the way they work the students is like totally different when I went.
mm,
But when I went,
Oh,
it was like they needed. It seemed like they needed students, so they just took anybody. But don't get me wrong, like I did learn a lot when I was there. Like it was a 3-year course, and the first 2 years you're learning all the stuff needed, right? But the third year, you just had to make the film. You're like your short film, whatever, and that was it. And now I'm there like I don't need a film because I wanted to get more into comic books. And the reason I took animation, my guidance teacher told me you should take animation if you want to learn comic books. I'm like, all right, okay, I'll go. Because there was no comic course anywhere really. Or there was, I heard there was in Sheridan, but the time I went there, they took it out.
Oh, what would the
really?
illustration be then? Because my niece is majoring in illustration.
Yeah. Oh, illustration. Yeah, illustrations I heard is pretty good there in Sheridan. But the animation they say it's like a very like tough one. I was like, oh, really? That I heard. but it's definitely different from my time. Because, like I said,
Mm.
they took anybody. But they did say by the third year, pretty much 70% of you are going to leave, and they were right about it.
70%. Oh,
Yeah, 70%. And it's funny too. I was there when Pixar just started, and they had them come to the school
mhm.
where they were looking for like new animators for this new company they're making, right? And
Mhm.
I heard it was Pixar. And I go, oh, Pixar. Like, yeah, who are these guys?
Little did he know.
Little did they know. Little did they know. But yeah, for your niece, yeah, she'll love it.
No, sorry. Joe, how about yourself?
To what Vince said, it was kind of interesting because I remember being, I think, in high school, and I actually applied to Sheridan. I actually applied to Sheridan, and because I started my drawing career so late, I started in grade 12, so my final year, I didn't get in, so I went into Centennial instead. But I remember being so mad at Sheridan, thinking you guys are being so picky. But also at the same time, I remember hearing that people kind of talking smack about it, saying their whole their whole promotion, I guess, is that Sheridan hires Pixar goes to Sheridan to hire graduates. Then someone said that stopped happening a long time ago, and so I'm quite happy because I went to Centennial because I want to go into VFX, right? And Sheridan would have been not the program for it.
So it all works out. Everything always
Exactly.
works
Yeah, the
out for
galaxy works, or universe works a certain way.
Exactly.
1%. So a question from Tito over here.
Tito.
Do you guys like digital or traditional better?
It depends.
Okay, Vince, you take this first. It depends. Why?
You know
Like
what?
what?
I find it. I like it working with a comic, more comic, because it's just a lot more faster and good for editing. But imagine doing traditionally. If there's like something you got to change, you got. I remember I had to do this one page, and then it was traditional, and this one editor said like, "Oh, I need you to flip the panel." I'm like, "What?" So I have to redraw that one panel.
That's
You
true.
know what I mean? But you go digital, it's so much better. That I find. This is me personally, but I get it. And don't get me wrong, like there is a difference I notice with digital and traditional that I find when inking, because there is a certain look when I ink traditionally compared to my digital. Because people say it's like, they say it's almost no. For me personally, I don't find it the same. There is a difference, but which one? I don't know. Again, it depends.
It depends. It depends.
Yeah, use that word a lot now.
All right.
Depends.
Joe, for you as well. Digital or traditional?
I think I like working traditionally because I work digitally for VFX, and not that I don't like it, more that I think there's something comforting about the feeling of this instead of sort of the Wacom tablet.
Sure.
And I think digital has its place too. Both are nice, honestly. Like what Vince is saying, like it's easier to sort of maneuver and flip and scale things in the digital medium. However, I feel like sometimes, especially with AI, you don't always know where it comes from, I guess.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so interesting, this whole discussion of AI, and as I'm watching you guys like physically draw, I really do feel like in a really like nostalgic way, it's gonna be like the rise of the physical medium again, just for like humans to take back control of the art.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I mean, there's so much so-called, they call it slop. You just see a bombardment of like this AI stuff now. But you can see people being like, I need something different. Something real.
Okay. Let's go on to the next topic. Let's see. I have a few kind of questions here. Let me
Ooh.
browse. Okay, as an artist, um, kind of looking 10 years ahead. What
Okay.
do you wish that you will be working on as an artist 10 years from now? And
Whoa.
Oh.
Deep.
Oh, I don't know.
it's interesting, right, Joe? Because you're in the midst of this whole kind of Hollywood
Mhm.
crisis, right?
Mhm,
So
mhm, mhm.
I wonder. It makes me wonder, like, has this kind of been on your mind and on your heart as well, right? Like,
Mm, mm, mm.
next. So yeah, curious. Like, what have you guys been thinking about when it comes to 10 years from now? Like, what do you see yourself doing as an artist?
Mm. I have this sort of fantasy, I guess, of myself getting really good at watercoloring. So I'm learning how to watercolor right now because I learned only how to
Nice.
do acrylics and drawing, and I just really enjoy watercolor. It's something I'm still new at, but I imagine myself in the future like getting better at that, and then kind of being able to effortlessly have this creation and being able to like I don't want to sort of say I want to sell my work, because I fear that it'll take away from the sort of learning process.
Hmm.
Mm. But yeah, the end goal would be to sort of create something that I can share with the world.
I like that.
I love that. Yeah. Well, I love watercolor. Like, there's
Mm-mm-mm.
a few pieces on my wall that
Oh,
were
really?
done in watercolor, and I would say I probably spend the most time looking at those. For some reason, like
Oh.
the texture and just
Mhm.
the way the artist does the fades. I mean, it's just so cool. Like, I really do love watercolor when there's kind of like a vision being put on paper. Watercolor does really bring something really special.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like how you said that, Joe. Like, just like kind of make the art, but don't focus on
Mm-mm.
like trying to make money off it.
Mm.
I get it.
Exactly.
You want to sell it, but I remember Nick brought this up. He saw like I remember talking about the if you see the sketches I post and all that stuff, and then
Mhm.
I actually sell them at the shows, right? Joe, you've seen them, right?
Mhm.
Like those in the
Mhm.
sketchbook, and
Mhm.
then people be like, "Why so cheap?" And I do sell them cheap because no, I have my commission pricing, right? Where I'll put
Mhm.
more like whatever work needed for that piece. But when you see these sketches I do, they're all random. But
Mm.
the thing is, what am I going to do with it? And I rather sell it to
Mm.
someone who would appreciate it even more for a good price. And then the way I always look at it is like it's just me drawing, working on my craft. I wasn't
Mm.
there to make money. I just wanted to make it look good. I
Mm.
draw it, I post it, I put it to the side, move on to the next one. Then I get all these drawings
Mm.
piled up. I'm just like, oh, what am I going to do with this? So I just ended up selling at the shows, but I'm like, I don't care. Like, just buy it here,
Mm.
$10, $20. And but when people buy it, they're like, oh my God, and they're appreciating it, what I was putting
Mhm.
into it. And it's like, I'll put hours into it, but it's
Mhm.
me just focusing on the art,
Mm.
Oh,
right? And if I make a
love
few
that.
bucks, that's a bonus.
Oh.
Then they'll be like, can I get a commission? I'm like, yeah, here's the pricing. That's how you get them. But that's the thing. You want to focus on that. Don't focus on the dollar. That's the best way to look at it. Obviously, you want to
Mm-mm.
make money,
Mm.
but the idea of just get in the zone, just draw something beautiful.
Mm.
Like Bob Ross. I didn't realize those paintings he never really sold. Or like not sold, but he just did them for free. Like he just drew it, I believe, and either he sold it or not or something. It was pretty impressive. I thought he just made a lot of money off it. But he was using that
Mm.
show to get students to come to his school. I'm like,
I didn't know
oh,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
It's like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So I'm like, I like that. Like, how many paintings he's done? And I'm like, it's like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like
Yo,
that.
Swaggle House is in the building. What's up, Swaggle?
Swaggle.
Swaggle, meet Joe. You know Mickey. It's Mickey Finnegan. Vince.
Mickey Finnegan. Mickey.
You know Mickey.
Hey, Mickey.
And then we have Matt Sketch as well. Hi, guys. I'm a big fan of both.
Oh, it's
Joe.
Matt
Sketch.
Sketch. Matt Sketch.
What's up, Matt
Hey,
Sketch?
Aaron.
A Ron.
Hey, Aaron. So Matt Sketch is actually the how I met Vince.
Yeah.
Really?
Originally.
What's
He's
the story? What's the
the
story of
form
Matt
boss.
Sketch?
Ooh.
The story of him. Ooh, I don't know.
He is
if
mad
you-
at sketches.
He's mm-hmm.
Hey, we're
That's
all
the
we're
story.
part of it's just funny. Like I met Aaron, and then
Mm.
but as I think we all got together, and he goes like, "Oh, I have a friend of mine, Joe," and that's how I met Joe. And we're all part of this like art group back in the day.
Nice.
We all used to hang out with that studio you guys used to work at.
Mhm,
Late nights. Oh my god.
Wait, how did you hang out when Joe is in Vancouver and you're in Toronto?
Oh, she lived here.
Oh, so
lived
I'm
here.
Mhm,
Sure.
exactly.
Joe's
I was
from
originally.
Toronto.
I'm originally from Toronto.
Oh, you're from Toronto.
to
Oh,
Vancouver.
no wonder.
Mhm,
Okay, okay.
Did you tell them my
Cool.
accent?
That makes sense. So,
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
guessing Matt Sketch is
Vancouver
from
accent.
Toronto then.
Exactly.
Toronto.
Oh wow.
Toronto.
Dr. Fuzz. Is it Fuzzy? Dr. Fuzzy or Dr. Fuzz? He says looking forward to 24/7's next series. Speaking of 24/7's next series, we are here with Vince Sunico, who's the creator and writer and artist of Heroes Be Damn, coming very, very soon.
That's
If
me.
you haven't done so already, please do click on this link in the chat and make sure you click notify me on launch. And it will really help us because we are shooting to get 500 followers before we launch. It's a little bit over a month from now. I mean, Vince, why don't you talk a little bit about Heroes Be Damned? Like, talk to us about the
Ooh.
story and inspiration and all that.
Oh man. Yeah, it's a character that I made like a long time ago. And it all started from if people seen the design of the character, it all started from his face or his mask. And I just kind of built him from there. But you get an idea what the whole story is like. You got this guy who's like literally like a force of nature who just comes in and just like destroys everything. But though it's violent, there is a whole story behind it. And it's kind of seeing like it's almost like the idea of like everybody has a story. Like what made him be type thing. That's the way of looking at him.
Do you mind if I share some visuals from the first?
Oh yeah.
1 second, I'm gonna do that. Well, keep talking.
Yeah. But yeah, an idea like the character I developed over the years. And
There you go.
it was a story that he's actually like a Shaolin monk who was like fighting superheroes, and it just kind of grew from there. And that design of the mask, I kind of threw it onto the Shaolin monk instead. And then is it there? Yeah.
Badass, yeah, super fun. Sorry about the text in the front, guys. This is proof not to be distributed. Apparently, prop hurt of 24/7 comics.
Love it.
We got new terms around here, but it's a cool story. I think it's there's a bit of a murder mystery aspect to it all.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very appropriate because people who've seen The Boys would probably love this as well because there's a little bit of aspect of this kind of fantasy superhero realm that's gone corporate and mainstream. And these are like super size issues, right? Issue 1 is what, like 36 pages?
Yeah. And the second one and third one, yeah, good, like close to 40 pages.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. Some of the action on this thing.
And the details.
Yeah, dude, you definitely went in.
Yeah. Went too far on it, but whatever. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things too. For me, it's like it's your work, your characters. I feel like you would put your best foot forward, and that's why I always rather creators draw their own characters. Why wouldn't you just put your own time in the characters you want to create, and I feel like
Yeah.
that's where you get the best results.
Yeah,
Mhm.
given that bit of freedom, pretty much, which I definitely found in working with Carl. It was like that just able to tell the story.
Woo! This shot right here is crazy.
Which one's that one?
Ooh.
One. Yeah. Holy shit. So yes, folks. If you have little sisters and little brothers who wants to read this, fair warning. Fair warning. There are like spikes that go through people's heads.
Fair warning.
And there are inappropriate vocabulary as well, but it's all to the fun. I guarantee it.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun book. Right? That's the way I'm looking at it. It's a satire to like say superheroes, but it's definitely a fun one.
So, Mr. Fuzi, this is the next one to look forward to. What's up, SSN Art? Looks like a well-drawn intellectual property, 1000%. Chris Feldes, really looking forward to this coming out. It's coming, guys. I mean, look how long it's taking me to scroll through issue number 1. It's insane. I mean, I'm just doing quick scrolls so people can get some previews to what. I mean, this one is 40 pages for issue 2. So yeah, Vince, you really went all out on this thing. Wow, look at this, dude.
Wow, Vince.
Oh yeah,
Beast.
yeah. It definitely like. I remember like when working with Terry. Terry's like, "It's just a suggestion, Vince, but maybe if you try that." It's like, "Yeah, let's do it." And I'm drawing like 4 extra pages.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't see this yet. This is new, right?
Oh, what's funny? That one I had to change, but it worked out. It was just by talking with Terry.
Yeah.
And he kind of made it more focused, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
What has it been like, Matt Sketch? He makes me want to quit.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm trying to get at, people.
Don't quit.
What do you mean?
You gotta
What do you mean,
believe in
Vince?
yourself. You gotta believe in yourself.
Yeah, Matt Sketch is a great artist too.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You can see like
Got
the
some
detail
crazy
he
detail.
does.
Mm-hmm.
And if correct me if I'm wrong,
Patience.
Aaron, but he wants to get like a gallery going. I was
Really?
like, hell yeah. Yeah, he does like these nice like big pieces. I remember stuff he did in the past, and it was like all these like heavy details.
Mm.
You remember, Joe? Remember?
Oh yeah, I remember, and they're really big pieces too.
Yeah.
Really unique sort of look to it.
He said he has no idea what you guys are talking about. He doesn't draw at all. So.
See, he's beating himself again. Well, we just talked about it earlier.
I mean, he looks like a badass with this headshot right here. Got the hair, the tats on the face. Does he have face tats?
He has no face tats.
Trying to look pretty badass if he does. Post Malone style. Yo, I love these pages, Vince. These red alert pages from issue 3. These are freaking awesome.
Yeah, what's funny? When I did that page, originally it was like black and white, and it was one of those things like because there's a red alert happening, right? But it was like, but it doesn't seem like it's red alert. So why not border the lines with red and really show that's red alert?
I love that idea.
So for those who love like King Kong, Godzilla, you got some like mecha hybrids in here as well. It's pretty dope.
There is tons of Easter eggs.
Oh my god,
a lot of Easter eggs.
Awesome. Ooh, look at that. Am I giving away too much? All right, I'm gonna stop now because I have to stop. Check out Kickstarter to see it. All right, let's check in on your sketches. I think we'll let's take a look. Joe, let's talk through this. Have you accomplished what you set out to accomplish in this hour?
I think so. Yeah.
Was it an hour?
It's been an hour. I mean, it flies through. So.
It's like what we're saying. Time just passes.
Yeah.
Dr. Fuzi, he just signed up to be notified about the launch. Also looking for him again on Bladesmith 1 of 1 package and mail and whenever mine number 3. Oh, it's coming out soon. Never mind. It's going to be later this year. So, yeah, stand by, and your bladesmith should be fulfilled very, very soon.
Woo.
And Matt gets Joe is still such an amazing artist.
Oh no.
Yeah, Joe.
Nah. Thank you though. Thank you.
So Joe, for those who are not familiar with the character and what you're drawing, who may be just tuning in now, want to give us a little bit of a background insight and talk about this piece and composition.
So this is a character from Dark Souls 3, and he's just one of the monsters that you kind of run into. And there's not so much like I know about his backstory particularly, but I just know that every time I was fighting, trying to get past a certain point, I kept running into these guys, and they stuck to me because of how unique they look and how the sort of style that I guess not Kentaro, but
Kind of creepy, huh? These guys.
These guys are creepy. There's some really creepy characters.
So how are they interacting? Yeah, how are they interacting? Are they just like?
So they kind of like take this weapon and they go wrong to you. I mean, you kind of imagine like what he's gonna use.
And what is composed of the bottom half of their body?
This is like a skirt that they wear. So this is a whole robe. I just haven't finished it yet. Like a robe.
Oh, cool. Oh, wow. They are kind of creepy, dude. And so what are they, like lumberjacks or something? Like creepy lumberjacks?
Yeah, you could say that.
That's creepy.
I don't know their lore. I think I would love to look. I'm going to read about their lore later.
Wow, that's dope.
Yeah, I got to play that game.
There's a list online that someone made of the Berserk characters and objects in correlation to Dark Souls 3, and it's amazing in the sense that like it feels like they're just playing off of each other.
Oh, is the Dark Souls the one? Remember when Kentaro passed away, and there was a video game that had all the players come out and put their weapons up to give respect?
I think that was Dragon Ball. Wait, no, that was Dragon Ball.
It's a video game. I should have sort of Souls. You know what I mean? Like they gave a respect. And all you see in the video, you just see all the players come together and you see everyone put up their swords up or something to give respect. I don't know if it was Souls, though. It's one of those games that was inspired by Berserk. I have to look it up. If I find it, I'll send it to you. It was pretty cool, man. I was like, damn.
It sounds familiar, but I knew that when... what's the name of the creator of Dragon Ball? Aki.
Yeah, I know he passed away, right?
When he passed, there were a bunch of people on the Dragon Ball game got together as I think, and then they kind of had the spirit bomb position. I think. I don't know, something like that.
I can see that. Yeah, but I think it was a Souls game. I think because I remember Nick telling me it was like it was inspired by Berserk. Because Nick's big into those games too. Like he loves Sekiro the whole bit. Like you guys.
Oh yes, Sekiro's great.
Yeah. Like they're all in that same realm, right? But apparently, and then when you look at the video, you just see everyone. There's like it's all lit lanterns or something, and you see all the players put their sword up or something. I'm like, ooh, all to give respect.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love when players get together.
Man, Joe, I can't believe that's a ballpoint pen. So cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Just a big soft, not sponsored.
Yeah, just a ballpoint pen. You got like so much texture in it, and like, wow, so cool.
Yeah, I tell you, ballpoint, man. But you see to see how it comes out. It's really nice.
Nice. All right, Vince, same for you. Let's talk about your character for those who are just chiming in.
Oh yeah.
What did you draw?
I drew this is Guts or with the Berserk armor, and he's holding a Casca. I did the pose from Dirty Dancing.
or Deadpool Wolverine. There was some promotion with.
Or that, yeah. You know, no one puts Casca in the corner. See, so, They're together. Does that make sense?
I love it.
Yeah. Something you don't see this too often with this character. So
Maskia said Vince is like God, it's godlike.
no,
100%.
I am human.
I don't believe you guys pulled off what you guys pulled off in an hour. It's very impressive. I would not be able to
Yeah, Joe, nice stuff, man.
get that far.
Thank
Good
you.
stuff, man.
This
So
makes me so
Michi,
happy.
definitely Michi, subscribe below if you haven't already on 24/7 Comics HQ. Like, subscribe, comment below, and we will be back for more. And yeah, Joe, thanks for joining us. It was my pleasure. You guys could go back to your faces now, so we could say goodbye to everyone.
Sorry, the sun is so in my face.
Yeah, we kind of saw the sun evolve as you're drawing. So, all
so
right, so we're
tired.
back. Thanks for the work you guys poured out for this. Joe, so where can people find you if they want to find more of your work and what you're up to?
I'm kind of off socials right now, but I do have a stream account that I stream from
Oh, which one?
on Twitch.
Okay, so they just look for
Oh, they can look for
Joe.
they can look for It Be Joe. Let me write that down.
It be Joe. Like, should I type it in?
ITBEJO.
ITBEJO.
That's where I stream It Be Joe, where I stream gaming usually. I haven't streamed in a while though. So
Oh, cool.
keep that in mind. And
Follow.
I'm sorry.
It's on Twitch, right?
It's on Twitch exactly.
Okay, boom. So I put that into the chat. So, folks, it be Joe, like that. Perfect. Thank you, Joe. Vince, we'll be back, right, for another episode next week.
Next week, man.
Who do we have?
Jen.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Jen,
So you guys
I
all
got
know
her.
each other. I feel like Canadian artist circles are small. So I really look forward to coming up to some of the conventions up there as well as we kind of get more traction with what we're doing here at 24/7 Comics. So once again, Heroes Be Damned coming up very soon, folks, and we will say goodbye for now. And Vince and Joe, please stay on when we upload our videos. And everyone, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.